promised on the last show to talk about the Note 7. Never got around to it, so let's talk about it today. The new Galaxy Note 7, which was announced a couple of weeks ago and started arriving Friday, right? You could buy it Friday from the main carriers in the U.S., T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, and Verizon. I got mine from T-Mobile, and it arrived on Thursday, so I've been playing with it. They have 3 colors. There's a black one, kind of a black. Actually, it's more like black, coral blue, and then silver. And I got the silver, and I really like it. Actually, it's a very shiny, mirrored silver almost. It actually just looks like a mirror. So, although it would be useful as a mirror. The back is so mirrored, it'd be useful as a mirror. But they do something to keep it from reflecting. So you can't look at yourself in it. What? Oh, well, I guess that's, so it'll look different in different angles of light or something like that. Comes with a little bit of a smaller camera than in previous Galaxy Notes. This is the same 12-megapixel camera that comes on the Galaxy S7, and I find it to be a great camera, just as good as the Galaxy S7 was, which I was very fond of. You could go back and forth on which camera is better. The Galaxy Note 7 or the iPhone 6s Plus. They're very similar, close, and if you want to use an Android phone with a good camera, this is a great choice. It has many of the same features that the current iPhone has. Now remember, there is a new iPhone coming soon, so that may change things in less than a month. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Whatever we're going to call it, iPhone 7 we'll call it. Nice camera, though. Very, very nice camera. And I'll post some example photos on our website. But if you search around, you can see them all over the internet. Screen, as always, is top notch. It is a Super AMOLED screen. Those are the screens that Samsung's quite famous for. Just brilliant, bright, deep blacks. Colors are vivid. Some people say too vivid. It doesn't look natural. There are different modes. You can put it in a more natural, basic mode, they call it, that apparently is also a better battery saver. It's 5.7 inches, and bezel lists on the left and the right because Samsung's doing, again, that curved edge that they started with the Note. It's part of the Galaxy S7 Edge. This is a little easier. I found the Galaxy S7 Edge a little slippery and hard to handle. This one has a little bit more of an aluminum edge on it, so it's easier to hold. Nevertheless, you're probably going to want a case. Corning Gorilla Glass 5. Now, I've already seen on the internet people scratching their screen, and we did have a problem with the Galaxy S7 screen. And since I think it's probably the same screen, you might want to get a screen cover if you're the kind of person that damages the screens. These phones, I should call them really computer phones because they're really computers. These things are fragile. Let's face it, they're fragile. And given that this is $850, that's a little scary. There are excellent, and I've said this many times now, excellent phones, kind of flagship style phones for half that price from companies like OnePlus. The OnePlus 3 is great. I've been using the Axon 7 from ZTE, a Chinese company, for the last month, and it's great. Xiaomi has a new Mi that is also very good, all at about $400. So you really have to decide what is in this phone to make it twice as expensive. And one thing is the stylus. The Samsung Galaxy Notes still are the only phone to have a built-in stylus. Good news, last year I plugged my stylus in the wrong way just as a test, and it broke my phone. Can't do it this time. So I'm protected against myself. Thank goodness. So yes, I tried. What a moron. But I do it for you. I do it so you don't have to worry about it. I guess. Also because I'm like a monkey and I got to try it. It doesn't. We are hearing now that the next edition of Android will be out tomorrow. Nougat, Android 7, will be out tomorrow and available on Nexus phones tomorrow. Samsung, I guess, didn't want to wait. I'm sure they were in a hurry to get this out before the new iPhone came out, trying to kind of steal a march on the iPhone. So they have Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow on it. they assure us we'll get Android 7, within a month or two, but we'll see. It's not just up to the manufacturer; it's up to the carriers too, and we'll see. It does have, Samsung's kind of slightly modified TouchWiz interface. It's getting lighter and lighter weight. I don't find it annoying, and there are some nice features in it. For instance, it has an adapt sound feature. You have to it's buried deep within the sound settings at the very bottom. But the adapt sound allows you to do a hearing test with your headphones in on this phone. And then once you do the hearing test, it will equalize the phone so it adjusts for your hearing pattern, your hearing loss in my case. And that's actually kind of nice. The music sounds very good on it as a result. This has been a feature of the last few Samsung Galaxy phones, and I'm glad that they keep this one. They also have a variety of sound effects and equalizers and concert hall sound and stuff like that, which you probably don't really care about. But the adapt sound is quite good. It has the usual weird Samsung gesture features, and you can double tap the home screen to get the camera to launch. I like that. Motorola was kind of mocking them because they have an always-on feature so that you can always see the date, the time, battery percentage, notification stuff even when the phone is off. This is a feature of AMOLED screens. It doesn't use extra power to do that. It uses a very small amount of power. So it's a nice thing to have. Motorola said, we invented that. Well, I don't know about that, but it is a nice thing to have. The processor in here is a very, very fast, very nice Qualcomm 820. That's in the U.S. Around the world, it'll be an Exynos 8890 processor, an 8-core processor that Samsung makes. Doesn't make any difference. They do the Qualcomm in the U.S. because it has all the radios they need. 64 gigs of RAM, storage, 4 gigs of RAM. That's a little less than the 6 gigs in the OnePlus. I don't notice a difference. I do love it that it supports SD cards. Once again, the Note 5 did not. This new one does. And I've put a 200 gig SD card in there. That means really effectively unlimited storage. All in all, I think an excellent phone. If you like the Galaxy S7, and I certainly did, I thought it was the phone of the year, and you want a stylus, you want a slightly bigger screen, a gorgeous screen, a beautifully built phone, I think the Galaxy Note 7 is a worthy successor to one of the most successful phone lines of all. And if you need Android and you don't mind not having pure Android or the latest Android, this is a very good choice. We're still waiting to hear what Google's going to do with their Nexus line. Those should be out in the next couple of months. And of course, Apple's coming with its iPhone 7. We don't know what it'll be called in another couple of weeks. But right now, I'm going to stick with the Note 7. I like it a lot. It'll probably be with us for the next couple of months, I'm thinking.